All right, this is Tom and Gypsy's bus, and it's a beautiful bus, and I'm going to have him tell you about it.
Yeah, this is a 1965 MCI 5A. We've had it for about 16 years. 2 years ago, we had it painted by Mike Wilson at Pro Auto Works in Drain, Oregon, and in that process, the bus was completely stripped down to the metal, the whole thing, and well, it was chemically stripped. And this paint job should last us at least our lifetime. So
It's beautiful.
yeah,
It turned out really nice.
It was really nice.
Looks like you got some solar up there.
Yeah, the solar panels up there, probably about 750 watts. There's 4 panels up there. I have the solar controller is I forgot what it was. When we get over there, I'll remember it. But I have 3 8D AGM batteries that control basically all of our house batteries and stuff. 3,000 watt inverter here, and you can see some of the AGMs there.
Oh, you've got a nice inverter there.
Yeah.
And is that thing there that says Classic on it? What's that? Is that your solar charge controller?
Yeah, that's a Midnight Classic, and it's good for up to 150 amps of power. So it's basically a commercial. It's like a commercial grade that you'd use in a house.
You have some nice bus bars in here. Very nice wiring, I can tell.
Yeah. So this has all been redone here.
Did you do this work?
Yeah, this is all stuff I did.
Very nice. And you said, are these your house batteries down here?
Yeah, they're.
And you said you had 3 of those?
Yeah, they're strung in a basically in a line kind of this way across here, and there's a room here for another 8D, and that's one of the things that we're going to do to upgrade.
That doesn't look like an 8D. It's a little shorter than my 8Ds.
You're only looking at a small part of it. You're looking at one end of it.
Is it submerged into the floor or something?
No,
there?
It goes back that way. This is a little corridor that goes back through there, and I'll open the bay on the other side so you can see it. But this is an Onan 6.5 K genset. This one here, the unique thing about this one is propane. So we carry 60 gallons of propane with us, and this runs pretty much everything. We have 2 heat pump air conditioners on here, and this will actually run both of those
heat pumps. Nice.
Yeah.
Now they're roof mounted.
Mm-hmm.
So this looks like the stock propane setup, right?
Uh-huh.
So I converted mine to propane aftermarket. You have a 6.5 kW. Mine is also 6.5. This is about the same era as mine. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's just interesting to me to see the stock setup on here because mine's a little different.
Yeah.
You'll see if I show you my bus there. And you've got it in a hush box.
Uh-huh. Yeah, this thing, it's really, really quiet. The exhaust is over here.
It goes down, right? Down and over.
And it is really quiet, extremely reliable. Over the years, there's been, typical maintenance of, starters and tune-up stuff, oil, and that kind of stuff.
And it draws its fresh air in from where?
Through the louvers.
Through the door?
Yeah. Through those louvers in the door panel.
Do you ever worry about it getting hot?
No.
I was thinking about adding a temperature monitoring
thing inside.
Probe in there or something to keep an eye on the temperature of that in a bay.
Yeah, I guess it really would be because you have the inverter being in there and all the different stuff that is in there. It might be worthwhile worthwhile thing to have. I have a temperature sensor on all those batteries.
Do you ever use it out in like 100-degree weather?
This?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Running the airfares?
Oh yeah.
Stays cool enough for you?
Mm-hmm. That's the reason I bought the Mach 8 air conditioners, because they're rated up to 125 degrees.
I added a fire suppression thing in my little generator bay.
Mm-hmm.
I should show it to you, see what you think. You might want to get one.
Okay.
It's just a little safety thing, you know?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Safety is always a big deal.
Yep.
So here we have the 6V92 TA, 300 horse silver. This is it's not common on this particular model bus. This was a repower, so we took out the original manual 4-speed transmission and the 8D71 that this era bus would have had in it, and then put this 6V92 in it. And it's been very, very reliable over the years. There was this one here was rebuilt about 4 or 5 years ago, and the problem I had with it was that I didn't know the engine was overheating, and the problem was that one of the thermostats had seized, and it overheated one side of the engine. As soon as it did, the heads cracked, and then it basically locked up the motor and cracked the other head.
So just to be clear, the reason you were explaining this to me earlier, and I think this is important knowledge that we need to go check on my bus now. We're talking about
Yeah.
this because evidently there's two thermostats.
Yeah,
There's one on the left and one on the right.
and the other one is here.
And his temperature sensor or sending unit was only on the right.
Yeah. Temperature gauge is right here.
And he
Right.
didn't have a sender over here, and
Right.
this side was the side that got hot.
Right.
And so we all should have two temperature sending units if we have two thermostats, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
And when we go inside, I'll show you where the dash, I modified the dash to accommodate that other gauge.
All right.
Anything else on?
No, that's good. Thank you.
Over here, I'm pretty sure you can see that. This is our hose reel.
Oh, is that powered?
This is my power reel.
Power retract?
Yeah, for
Just like a Prevo, huh?
yeah, 50 amp service.
Nice.
And you can see in the back here, there's my 50 amp service switch up there, but you can see the batteries, how they extend back this direction. And can you
Yep,
get a shot of
I'm
that?
getting them.
Okay. I just got a new macerator, and I'm gonna start using a macerator instead of using the 3-inch sanitation hoses. Macerators work really, really good, especially when you're boondocking and stuff.
You got a flow jet pump there, I see.
Mm-hmm. 100 gallons of water, fresh water inside this. It's insulated with Armax, so it's basically just a foam box with a 100-gallon tank in it.
And your black and gray are over here in this
Yeah.
area.
Yeah. The gray is here, the black is there. I think, let's see, the gray is 100 and the black is, I think, 60.
And just a tidy little short dump arrangement there, right out the hole in the
right
bottom
here.
there. Yep.
Yeah, you can unscrew this and just drop it out of the bottom. A lot of times when you're aired down, it makes it really difficult to get a positive flow. So that's the reason the macerator is going to come in really handy, because I've been in Vegas and a lot of places to where you may have a long run to get to their drains, and 9 times out of 10 it's going to be uphill. So it's not the easiest thing in the world.
What's that push button for up there?
This right here is the electric retract for the hose reel. That's pretty much it over here, and then like one of my bays is storage full. So this is a typical bay. It goes all the way across. The this right here is a basically a general storage box that has cleaners, extra belts, blower belts, and that kind of stuff in it. Anything that I would use to do maintenance and stuff on it. On the other side of that, is another box that's got the same covering and stuff on it. But the other box is a 60-gallon propane tank.
Okay.
And it runs this direction, so it's basically made right up to the back of this.
Yeah, you've got quite a bit of room in your bays, and you've made good use of them.
Yeah, we have those blue tubs. We have three of those blue tubs sitting this direction here, and then we utilize the space up above it for mats and so forth. And here, this used to be the original air conditioning unit, condenser unit. Used to sit in. So in here is another storage space. I carry a small compressor with me. Another set of batteries over here. Those batteries right there run the 12-volt system that's on the bus. When we did the conversion on it, we, for the most part, took all the 24-volt running lights, headlights, and all that, and removed them. And changed it over to 12-volt. And so those batteries there actually run the headlights, all the running lights, gauges. So that's the reason those are two interstates right there. I think they're 30 volts, but that's what they're for.
You still have some 24 volts somewhere on the bus, though, right?
Yes.
Starter. And
Yeah, I have the starters 24 volts. The jake brakes are 24 volts. One or two sensors are still 24 volts, like low oil sensor and stuff is 24 volts. I think that's about it.
Well, we'll go ahead and go inside, I guess.
Yeah. Are you on?
Very nice driver's compartment with updated switches. A very comfortable driver's seat here. Stock steering wheel.
Some of the changes, the basic changes that were done up here were most of the electronics controller wiring and stuff is in here. These are pretty much empty now because I've taken most of the relays and everything out because they're just not needed anywhere. All new Carlini gauges or switches, and here's where the water sensors are. Yeah, the two water temps are right there, so you can see them. No warning lights that used to be would be typical on a 5A. So turn signal lights and stuff down here lower. That's about the only thing that's left out of the old design. This I handmade, as well as this. All of this was all I made all of that out of oak to match the cabinets and stuff. Put in some new gauges up here so that I can monitor the 12 and 24 volts, transmission temperature, boost from the turbo.
Nice.
And this is a pyro that tells you exhaust temperature. So.
Oh, that's good. So no buzzers or lights for high temp or low oil pressure?
No. I rely 100% on the gauges. No. What we used to call back in the old days, what we used to call idiot lights. Yeah. And so this to me is I can actually see the events that are going on back there, 35 feet away. So makes it great. So this was this area here was upholstered by a gentleman in Grants Pass about 4 years ago, and we're doing it constantly, looking at things to how to make it more homey, because we ultimately plan on this being where we're going to live. But
so since you bought the bus, you've had the couch reupholstered?
Yeah, the couch has been reupholstered.
These are probably new seats here, right? New driver and passenger seat?
No, we've had these seats. These are the original ones.
Very nice. Okay.
And so the dinette and the was upholstered, and the couch was upholstered. Actually, yeah, the couch was reupholstered. We had some cabinets rebuilt here. This cabinet here actually houses the TV, a flat screen TV, and our dish controller here. And I have a traveler up on the roof that I put in just this past year.
Is this bolted down? No?
This is just our little frog guy. It's really heavy.
Doesn't go anywhere.
Doesn't move. Yeah, the bus is actually pretty stable. We this past year just put in all new airbags, redid all new brake shoes, turned the brakes drums on all the wheels. And so yeah, that was our big project, a financial project anyway this year. Aside from this, remodeling this.
Did you have that done, or did you do it yourself?
The brakes and stuff.
Well, I mean, obviously you would have probably had somebody turn them for you, but I mean, did you do the chassis work yourself?
No, I actually had Henderson's, what do they call it, Henderson's motors or whatever in Grants Pass to do it. And we got all the parts from Luke from US Coach, and yeah, we had them do it, and they did a really great job.
Nice dinette. It's a very roomy layout. Corian countertop, undermount sink, updated faucet. You got a new stove.
Yeah, this one here, it's a 3-burner. It's got porcelain grill on it and stuff, which is really kind of nice. It has a kind of a easy light feature.
Nice big burners.
So.
Oh yeah.
It's great for. We do coffee in the morning and stuff like that. It's great for heating up a cup of coffee and stuff like that in the first thing in the morning. Microwave, typical.
These are your heat pumps.
Yeah, the Mach-8s. Really nice. They do a really good job. That one, whoever sees this, what isn't kind of funny about that, it doesn't follow the center line of the bus. Most air conditioners are set right in the center.
Right.
This one is set off to the side because of the previous owner, years and years ago, was tall. So he didn't want to hit his head on one of the older versions of the air conditioner, which had a control unit that was pretty deep.
Bigger drop down.
Yeah. So he set it off to the side. So.
I see your inverter control panel here.
Yeah.
Xantrix. Very nice.
Yeah. So that gives us a lot of the information. This has basically been rewired a couple of times. And this is all the tank information here, and this is the solar right now, and basically sitting at 20 amps.
You're getting 20 amps out of the solar right now?
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
And during the day, I mean, my wife can go in and vacuum and run, you know, a lot of 115 items, you know, so when the sun's out, obviously.
Does this easily hinge up?
Yeah, it does.
A sneak peek of that?
Yeah, it's
okay. This is good stuff.
This
here.
is where all the where the happy stuff happens here. This is my little jumper cable. But yeah.
For testing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You got a little light on it somewhere.
No, this one. I usually use this to if I had to bypass something. You know, because of the fuse blew out or something like that, and I didn't have the exact fuse. Or
a
whatever.
really clever thing the guy that converted my bus does. He's got there's a little light mounted in here next to the fuses, and it's grounded on the other side. And there's one of these, and you can just start probing around, and you can and so when
that's
the light,
a great idea.
Yeah, so it's just a regular light, and you can see where you got 12, and it's a super dead simple. Test light built right into the cabinet where the fuses are.
Yeah, that is actually a really good idea. But pretty much all of the roof stuff comes in through the vent, the dryer or the fridge vent. Yeah, up there.
It's a 3-way fridge?
No, it's 2.
2-way?
Yeah, it runs off of propane. Probably 90% of the time, or if we do stop in an RV park, we can plug in and stuff. You know, it trips over to AC.
The propane is so efficient on these; it hardly uses anything at all.
This one actually is a second generation one. The original one was really bad, so we pulled that out and put this in, the bigger one in, which brought about the change that was part of the bathroom.
Yeah, the bathroom door is really cool. Let's show the bathroom door, how that works.
So it's latched for travel up here. It comes over for privacy purposes and locks over here. So it would have at one time been straight across for the old refrigerator, and the bigger one did make the difference, so that we couldn't use it.
So that gives you a lot of floor space in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And you can still get to your closet to change.
Right. And we have what do they call those things?
And you have a draw type curtain here.
Yeah, because a lot of times the kids or grandkids or something will come and stay with us on the jackknife couch. And that way it gives us a little bit of privacy here, and they can still use the restroom with privacy. So
these work really good. I have one of these in my bus, and I like it. But don't drive with that in the rain. I made the mistake of doing that, and I fried it.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know it was up. It was on. We started smelling something bad, electrical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Smoked it.
So there's a really nice stereo system here that we have, and we have a 10-pack of CDs that my wife goes through and periodically changes, as I'm driving and stuff. So we pretty much have music all the time when we want it, when we're on the road. I didn't mention it, but we actually have on the engine, we actually have a 24-volt alternator and a 12-volt alternator that provides power for the bus while we're going down the road. So
I'm curious what that XTC thing is there.
That's a speaker.
Okay, that's what brought it to your mind, was the back of the speaker.
Yeah, the back of the speaker, because the up here you can see the other two above the dash there, and there's one here and there's one here. So you get
JBL.
Yeah, quite a bit of sound.
We didn't look at the bedroom yet.
Yeah. So this
sidewalk here.
This was originally twin beds when we got the bus years ago, and it really didn't work for us. So we went into the kind of design mode, and my wife got with a very good friend of ours that does cabinetry work, and went in and basically designed this whole thing. And there's lots and lots of storage here. You've got 2 drawers on each side table. You've got 3 drawers underneath the pedestal here. In the center, you've got a door here that goes all the way the length of the bed for putting vacuum cleaners. Actually, I've got a couple of books, or a couple of boxes of books for the bus, for all my drawings and everything for the bus or the motor. And inside of those cabinets there, above the headboard there, those go back about 2 feet each. So lots of storage there, which is very important if you're planning on being, part or full time in one of these things, to have space.
So do you have these wired up so you can run them off the inverter at all?
Mm-hmm.
Both of them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can you do one or both at a time?
I can do one or the other.
One or the other, but not both, probably.
Yeah, I can do both of them actually.
Wow.
Because this particular model, the startup voltage, and that's what trips
Yep.
trips you up. The startup voltage on those things is lower. It's they're the newest ones that they came out with. Was the Mach 8 was the new ones. They're an
inverter style. Is that right?
Yeah. The only issue that you have with these is they have a tendency to be a little bit noisier outside, just because the fan speed is so high. And so there's a fan conversion thing that you can buy for them. And in fact, I both of these have got a kit in.
So you have a 3,000 watt inverter, that's right?
All right.
And that's ample to run both these roofers.
Yeah, it is.
Wow. And it never, even if they're both kicking on the compressor at the same time, it never trips it?
I've never had to do it. It's not to say that I wouldn't do it, but I have never had to do it.
Well, that's
because
great.
it's not like we have Mach 3s in here, and when it tripped on, it was like this boom.
Oh yeah.
Big noise kind of things. These guys don't have that. So these are like ridiculously expensive too.
Yeah.
Compared to a regular one. So I don't know if that's because they're engineered better or whatever, but we got them basically because of warmer temperatures.
So is your alternator adequate to keep the batteries topped up going down the road running these? Or?
Well, you've got solar the whole time too, so.
So do you run them going down the road?
No, well, I typically run the front when I'm going down the road.
You do?
Uh-huh. Yeah, we went to a concert in Challis, Idaho, a while back.
I'd want to. I don't have adequate. How many amps is your alternator?
155. I think it's 155.
And this is on the 12 volt side.
Yeah.
So that's I just use 10, a factor of 10 to keep the math easy, right? So if it was, I don't know how many amps these are, but mine are probably like 15 amps on startup, and maybe a little bit more. That translates easy 150 amps a draw at 12 volts. I just use 10 for easy math. It's 12 or 13, but
yeah, as I said, I've run this one. I know, and only because everybody was sitting in here, because we had 4 people in here at the time.
Yeah.
And we were headed to Challis in July. So
is this a fantastic fan, or is that something else?
Yeah, this is it's a fantastic fan.
It's really quiet. No, it's max.
Yeah, all of max area.
Yeah, it's max air.
Yeah, it is really quiet.
So your wiring and your plumbing, how is that run? So you've got your control panel back there for a lot of your stuff. Do you have chases that run above the windows or under the couch? And
Most of that, or some of it going forward, is run through on the outside of this valance, some of the smaller lines, and the air conditioners are obviously plumbed across through here section.
is it
from over
easily
here.
accessible to like add more stuff if you want to down the road?
Yeah, they ran in a bunch of other ends, bitter ends here.
Spares.
Yeah, and here.
Good.
So that's worked out. A lot of the stuff that I did in regards to the bus itself, as far as controls and stuff like that, once I took out all the 24-volt system, there's a run that comes from here that goes all the way to another J box on the curbside, and then you can basically connect something here, like you need a 12-volt for that backup camera, then you just run it to the panel here.
You have a numbered terminal type setup,
And
but
then
that's
run it
all.
all the way back.
That's not stock anymore. You did that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was a lot of years worth of doing different stuff for the most part. We put in that parquet floor there too here a couple years ago. Redid all the oak and stuff in here.
And I can see you've got a footrest here.
Yeah.
Well, very nice. I appreciate the tour.
Yeah. You're more than
Thanks for
welcome.
showing it to us.
Thank you.